Among the most prominent wrestling schools in the country, the world famous Monster Factory in New Jersey. Uh, they well known. The graduates are at the top of the game when it comes whether it's WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact. They boast graduates like Sheamus, uh, Nick Camarado, Matt Riddle, uh, Damian Priest, and there is a new docuseries that's coming to Apple TV Plus to chronicle what happens at the world famous Monster Factory. The docuseries titled Monster Factory debuts this Friday, March 17th on Apple TV Plus. And joining me on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline to discuss all this is the man behind the hard work, the owner and head coach of the Monster Factory, Danny Cage. Follow him on Twitter at the Danny Cage. Danny, thanks for your time. How you doing?
I'm loving life, Stu. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Let me ask you this. As I said, one of the most prominent wrestling schools out there. How many students do you see, say, in a typical year?
Well, we have a lifetime membership, so that keeps the numbers up. I would say I would say every day there's between 25 to 45 students in each one of my classes.
Wow.
Of course, like on a when we do the juniors on a Saturday, there might be 10. When we do an open ring, which isn't mandatory, there might be like 15, but usually about 25 to 45 people on a night to deal with.
Okay, that's pretty huge. And as I mentioned, you've got talent all over the wrestling world. I know for a time you were a real big pipeline during the previous era of Ring of Honor. Just talk about how proud you are having the talent. I mentioned those talents like Sheamus and Matt Riddle and Damian Priest. Talk
Right.
about how proud you are to have those talents at the top of their game in those respective promotions.
Well, what I love the most is like, and like we talked about, like even Ring of Honor before with LSG and Shaheem Ali and Ian Riccaboni, who's now over at AEW with ROH and all. Like it's it's I love talking to the other coaches and the other promoters and wherever they get hired at, and they're like, "You did a great job," or This was unbelievable. They walked in here and they were ready. They're already set up for press. They're already set up for this. They're hitting everything, and then it's like, do you have any more? It's like, where else? What's the secret? And I go, there is no secret. It's just hard work and it's consistency and it's making people be accountable. And that's what wrestling is. It's a dance. You can't do this alone.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I would suspect that in your course or during at the training school there, you go through. It's not just in ring technique. You're going through everything. Wrestling on TV, knowing how to play to the camera. You're looking at you looking at business aspects like how do you read a contract and dealing with social media. Talk for a sec just about that and about just
No, that's everything like we deal with. Like just for example, like I have a lawyer and I say, hey, if you guys have contracts and stuff, I'll have my guy look at it and give me some notes and talk to you about it. We go over social media. We go over working to the camera and stuff like that. We videotape our training sessions so we can watch them back, stuff like that. We have them cutting promos because I keep telling everybody, in-ring stuff is maybe 5% of what a wrestler is. When you think about it, like honestly, tonight on Monday Night Raw, someone's going to go in there and have a 10-minute match. But to get to that 10-minute match, they've been at the building for now 6 or 7 hours. They had directions emailed to them, stuff sent to them via text, all that stuff. And they're going to wrestle for 10 minutes. But we're only focused on the wrestling when all the other stuff is what got them to that point. Everything. So that's what I stress is wrestling is more than in ring. They're not going to be wrestling all day on Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? They're going to be sitting at that building. So if you don't love this, then this ain't for you. So what we do is we weed out the people that don't really love this. And I always tell everybody, if you're going to treat this as a hobby, that's fine. But when you're with us, you're going to train like a pro. That's what you're going to do. And
Absolutely.
the worst that's going to happen is you're going to walk away a better person. The best that's going to happen is you're going to walk away a better person and get a contract.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let's talk for a second about this docuseries, Monster Factory, coming to Apple TV Plus. What was it like having the cameras follow through everything that you do at the Monster Factory, following the wrestlers, the students, and going with you and your coaches? What was that? What was that experience like?
Um, it wasn't bad for me. I through stuff during it. Have you seen the series yet?
I have
Have
not.
you
I'm
seen the
looking
series?
forward to see. I'm looking
Okay,
forward to seeing it.
so I'm just going to tell you, once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I was going through some stuff. So, like, the camera crew being there, the production crew and all helped me immensely because I love them, like, with all my heart. And I was going through, like, bad times, and you'll see it. And also good times. But, like, it was comforting because I don't have, like, a big family, and they're like my family now. So, like, that was awesome. But the students, I could tell they were a little taken back because they're used to the hit pieces, the trying to show like the dark side of wrestling and try to show it seedy and all this instead of just and trying to create fake drama and all this stuff. When I'm like, no, no, we're just going to do our lives. We're going to live our lives the way we always have. We're going to be training, and they're just going to be documenting it. And that's all we did. And it took a little bit of time, and some people a little bit longer to warm up and realize it. But everybody, I think, will agree that this project was well worth it. And I think it's going to not only make wrestling fans, but just, or not even make wrestling fans happy, but just new fans to pro wrestling happy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to lead to. What is it that you hope comes out of this series showing up on Apple TV Plus? All 6 episodes going to be debuting on Friday. What is your hope for this docuseries as it relates to the Monster Factory?
Well, I want it like what I think is going to happen if someone sits down and watches all 6 episodes, what they're going to say is, I had no idea. I had no idea this went into this. I had no idea all this was like this. And that's a shame because wrestling has been around for so long. And it took this long for someone to come out and show this aspect of pro wrestling. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I know is going to happen. And I think it's going to be awesome for everybody involved.
Well, and it's kind of funny you say that because you know as well as I do, wrestling for the longest time was very secretive, very, you protect the business, you protect the sport.
Yeah.
And, so you didn't hear a lot of what was happening, you know, behind the curtain, so to speak, or even in wrestling schools. And we're
Right.
seeing that now. Is it your aspect that this is a good way to show what happens behind the curtain?
Yes. Yes. This is what you should be showing. This is what will make new fans. The wrestling fans are all going to watch it. Because I know as a kid, in 1983, if there's anything with wrestling in it, I was watching it no matter what. I didn't care what it was. If there was any mention of wrestling in it, I was watching it. So they're always going to watch it. But this might catch the eye of someone who's just into athletics, in that journey, and that mental health stuff, and everything that, and open the doors to all these new fans. And that's what I want to happen with this,
Absolutely.
to
He
really
is,
see what pro wrestling's about.
oh, absolutely. He is Danny Cage, the head coach and owner of the Monster Factory. Catch Monster Factory this Friday on Apple TV Plus. Danny, I appreciate this so much. All the best to you. All the best to everybody at the Monster Factory, and hope to talk again soon.
All right. Thank you, Stu. Love you, brother.